Alright guys, this is to all you 2010 Town and Country owners. They got the 3.8 liter V6 in it that has AC problems. Now I want to save you guys about $1,000 worth of work here, especially if it may be a mistake that you made somehow in your AC. Basically, my symptoms were, when I first started, was my AC stopped working. The compressor wouldn't cut on. So therefore, no cold air came out of the vents. AC compressor didn't work, wouldn't cut on for nothing. So that put me in a panic, right? But this is my situation. 2 months ago, I had an actuator that went out, that went on the passenger side. So basically, down here, I went in here and I changed an actuator because it was clicking. You know how it made with those plastic gears? The gears inside of the actuator basically broke off and will click every time it actuated the blender that blends the air. Well, after I did that, I'm assuming that I put everything back together. Now all of a sudden my AC stopped working. Go into a panic, trying to figure this out. I hooked my gauges up. My gauges basically stayed the same. Where my low gauge was registering at about 70 pounds of static pressure before the car started, and then about maybe 150 in the high side. Started it up and it stayed the same, so nothing changed. AC compressor didn't kick in, nothing happened. That particular symptom is indicative of a bad compressor. So guess what I did? I went and bought me a compressor. I installed it thinking that was going to be my fix. Actuality, that wasn't my fix. Went back, put some refrigerant into the system. After I did I even went and bought me a vacuum to vacuum out the system. So I vacuumed out the system, put coolant in it, started up, nothing happened. Running my multimeter through the electrical connector, that didn't register anything. It didn't register the correct voltage. So I'm thinking electrical problem. I'm doing research online, and you don't really see too much information regarding a 2010 Town and Country. So now this comes along. Now I have no information about that. I'm online for hours at a time trying to find more information about what my symptoms was. Then I ran into someone stating that there is a evaporator temperature probe, because that is supposed to regulate the AC compressor turning on and off as well, some weird way. So I decided, well, it's going to be a tough job, just because they're saying that I'm going to have to dismantle the entire dashboard. I'm going to have to take this whole thing apart. And I remember when I was doing this actuator, there's a couple of other actuators in there that I will eventually have to dismantle this entire dashboard. So I took the glove box off and I'll show you guys. All right, shine a flashlight in there. You see that wire back there in the back? Not the wires that's directly in front of you. That wire that's running horizontal. That wire came out. It plugs into evaporative temperature probe. That's it right there. Okay? So basically you go in, just go in at an angle towards the middle of the vehicle. Alright? So that's the middle of the vehicle. Pull your glove box off. Go right towards that white box right there, that white control unit. Go through there. And there you go. Alright. That's it. I'm assuming that's that temperature probe. That was disconnected. Made me put on a compressor and do a whole bunch of unnecessary stuff that I didn't really have to do. If this didn't work, I was going, and this is after date. This is about a week of research, me getting to this point, because I was determined that I was going to figure out what was going on here. That came out. As soon as I plugged that back in, started right up, the compressor came back on. Amazing, huh? Because I could have easily taken this to the dealership. They would have said, "Oh yeah, we got we noticed that your compressor's bad. We noticed that you're low on refrigerant," and charging an easy $1,000. So if you do a prior job, then make sure you put it all back together. I must have pulled that particular wire out by mistake, not realizing that it needed to go back in there. So check that out first before you do anything with the AC. Just make sure that that's plugged in one, and to make sure that it's a function, because sometimes, from my understanding, they can go bad. They can fail, and you have to replace it. So that's it for you guys, man. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you got that 2010 Town & Country, good luck.